Alright, we are live now. We had some technical difficulties, but it looks like we're up and going. Alright, I just gotta wait for people to hop on. Unfortunately, you can't post on our page. I'm afraid to get out of this one.
Okay, we're live now. I see it. Okay.
Alright, so
Looks like people are getting on. Thanks for your patience, guys.
for whatever reason, our video had paused on our last feed.
Got 6. Alright. Alright, let us know if you're on. Type us a comment. Looks like I see people are getting on.
Okay. Not sure why we're not seeing.
Alright, well.
There we go. Hey, Tracy. I think we got it going now, so we're... I don't know why our video had paused.
Well, that's okay. That's alright. I'm glad we're up and we're streaming, so that's good. So, do you want to start with...
Hi, Wendy. You're back. Glad you're finding us again. So, well, I don't know if you all brought your coffee with you, but I brought my favorite coffee mug, and I actually got this at Mount Vernon, which is President George Washington's homestead. But this is the only thing I drink out of at home, believe it or not. I only drink my water and everything out of this. So this is my favorite cup. So I'm going to make myself a cappuccino, and maybe you have some coffee in front of you or whatever. But cappuccino starts out with espresso. So I just smooth out the espresso, tap it down. And while the espresso is running, I'll pull a double shot of espresso. While that's running, I'm going to steam myself some milk.
Other side.
And I actually have it all prepared already, so I can just steam it real quick. Wow, that's hot. It's been a while since I've done this, so I gotta get back into the habit here. And then as soon as my espresso gets done, I can pour the milk in here and have my cappuccino with you all.
And in case you're wondering, cappuccinos generally have a little bit less milk in them. They're a little bit different than a latte, but they tend to be Dan's favorite thing. I, however, am drinking a decaffeinated tea latte, as is the best choice for me at the current moment. It's not bad, but cappuccino would taste a little bit better.
Yes. Hey, Michelle, we see you're on. Oh, your coffee shop at work is closed. Well, that is a bummer. I wish we could send you all some coffee, a digital coffee. Not sure how that would work. Hey, Edmund says hi.
Hi, Edmund. How are you, buddy?
Boy, we miss a lot of our customers. I remember just being back here in the Breest area, kind of looking out when we would be busy and seeing all the conversations happening at the tables, and I loved it. I loved seeing that. So we really miss that a ton. But this is the best that we can do to stay connected, so appreciate you all hopping on and saying hi to us. I don't know how long the restrictions will last. If they last a good while, then we'll continue to do these digital coffee breaks at least once a week. I don't know, maybe we'll continue to do it otherwise too. I don't know if it's something that people are enjoying, but So I see a lot of people are getting back on. They're finding our other feed that we had to start. So, all right. Well, let's. I just want to give an update then a little bit on Third Space, because we've had lots of people asking, messaging us, hey, when are you guys reopening? A lot of people are kind of wondering if we were going to do to go, because a lot of small businesses that are being hit really hard have done to go. But I've heard from some of them, and it's really hard for them to stay open during that time because they're not bringing in much profit, and they still have to pay whoever's there working the coffee house to go. So many times they're not really making any money at all doing that, and actually spending more than they're making. So we, Third Space, in our situation, we have been hit financially by the closure, and we want to reopen. And we're not going to do the to-go thing. We just financially cannot manage that at this time. But we do want to reopen, and we want to reopen as quickly as we can. But reopening for us is going to look a little different. So we have to consider when we are able to reopen, when all the restrictions have subsided, we know that we're going to have to reopen a little different. So what do I mean by that? Well, I use soy milk in this, and it's not nearly as good as the regular milk.
I tried to sell him on the soy, but he's not going for it, I guess. Okay.
So, yeah, so we're not going to do the to-go thing, but when we reopen, we got to consider our staffing. We really believe we probably need more staffing than we had. So most of you know that my wife was managing the coffee house, and she was putting in a lot of hours, which is pretty expected. I mean, it does take a lot of hours to manage a small business, but I was also putting in a lot of hours as well, and on top of that, trying to continue some of the pastoral duties that I have. So that was a challenge, I felt like, for our family, but we know that we're probably going to need more staffing. We want to run smooth, we want to run effectively, and quite honestly, I don't want to get so busy at the coffee house that I can't have time for some conversations with everyone who's coming in, all of our customers, patrons, our friends.
We love to see you, and we love to talk with you.
Yeah, so that's important for us. So when we do reopen, and again, we don't have a date for that, we're not sure when that is. When all the restrictions subside, I don't even know if we're going to be able to reopen right away, or if it might be a little bit down the road from that. We just aren't sure yet, but we do hope to keep things updated. Our board has another meeting on Sunday, so we'll be talking about Third Space going forward a little bit more, and what that might look like. Hopefully, I'm hoping our governmental authorities give us some clue as to whether a lot of these restrictions are going to be extended or if they're going to be lifted. It seems like, from what I'm hearing, everyone's saying it's going to be extended, but we don't know. So yeah, so anyways, I don't know how many of you knew this, but Third Space is actually owned and operated by Common Ground. Common Ground is a church, and we do a community dinner in this community. In fact, right across the street from Third Space here, we do what we call a community dinner. A lot of us call it dinner church, but we actually put on a very nice banquet for our community. Usually it's fresh fruits and vegetables, usually a meat dish, and so we try to prepare something that's really good, that's healthy, and we invite the community in, and we have just a really cool community environment. So that's every Sunday at 5. Now, we've not been able to do it over at the Borough Hall since the restrictions, but that's one of the big things that Common Ground as a church that we do in the community. We also work with the youth some, and there's other things that we do as well. But Common Ground owns and operates Third Space here. So we see this space as a ministry as much as we do as a coffee shop. And It's kind of hard to explain how you can be a business and a ministry as well, but we do our best to put out that explanation. But really, we wanted to have a community space for those in this community and outside of the community as well, where people can enjoy a nice beverage together with each other. And that's why I said we loved when we saw like the conversations happening out in our cafe area. So yeah, we saw the space very much as a ministry and also a business, and we were trying to keep it that. So there's challenges in that, but moving forward, I think we still want to see it as a ministry. And I loved having conversations. I multiple times just being able to kind of take off my apron for a moment and having a conversation with someone, able to pray with others. That's a joy for sure. So yeah. So one of the questions we do have is when we reopen, what will it look like? But also we're asking the question right now is how do we best utilize this space during all these restrictions? So most people we can't be indoors anymore.
All right, we're getting some feedback that the sound went away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so checking our audio connections, 1 second. Looks like everything is still connected.
Oh, she said it was her. It was Beverly.
Oh, well, we had Tracy said the sound went away too.
Oh.
Okay,
maybe it
is
did.
Everybody back in? Everybody's hearing us okay? We're going to keep going. All right, excellent. Thank you. Okay.
Awesome. So yeah, anyway, we're asking how do we utilize Third Space now to minister to our community in these days. So what we're doing is we're taking community dinner that we used to do over at the Borough Hall, and we're doing it in our parking lot. And we can't set up tables necessarily. I'm not sure that would meet the guidelines that are out there by the health departments and authorities and government. But we are giving to-go containers. We are having conversations with people, trying to do that at the appropriate distancing, and praying for people, just ministering to people as we can. What we have found is a lot of people are enjoying just seeing someone else that they know. Seeing a familiar face, being able to have even if it's just a short conversation. And then of course there are people that really appreciate the meal because we're still creating a healthy, good meal. So yeah, so that's kind of what Third Space is all about and what we're doing during this time. We, like everyone else, we're doing a lot of Zoom meetings, lots of just actually like Tuesday, our whole core team met. I don't know, it was probably 18 people maybe. We all met on Zoom, and I shared just a devotional. We talked just about how things are going and updated everybody, prayed for everybody. So that was kind of a fun thing, and a lot of us hadn't seen each other since all the restrictions began. So would like to ask all of you to give us feedback on content for doing Third Space Coffee Break. So if we do it every Thursday at 10, like what are some of the content that you have ideas about or things that you would like to even see? So we're certainly open to suggestions for that. Would love to hear your ideas about that. I've seen some people doing very creative stuff, and so we'd love to be as creative as we can. This technology is a little bit new to me, so I'm just trying to figure out like this is the first time I've ever done Facebook Live. I'm trying to figure out how to do that well. I know a lot of people use their mobile phones. We actually have a camera we're using. So hey Van made it on. Sorry Van, if you tried the other link, our video paused and stopped. I don't know why, and
we prevailed. We're back online.
We prevailed. We did. We're here. So if you hadn't heard, I'm drinking out of my favorite mug again that I drink out of at home all the time. So I brought that in today. So what are you all? Did you all have your coffee this morning? Just checking in. Most of us understand coffee to be one of the most important things in the morning. Or for our non-coffee drinkers, the tea. Tea's a good option. So do you all have your tea and coffee in front of you? I know the most popular drink we had on our menu for non-coffee drinkers was the London Fog. So perhaps many of you have had that here at Third Space, which I enjoy too, actually.
And if you haven't had a London Fog, I strongly encourage you to try ours when we do get reopened. It is fantastic, and it is very creamy and wonderful, just a hint of lavender and a lovely tea drink. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
and Leslie says they're doing hot tea. And I'm trying to read comment. Oh, the Keurig, yes. So somebody's saying that their Keurig just isn't the same. Yes, I see that, Melinda, and I can definitely relate. We do have a Keurig at home, which is predominantly used by our 17-year-old son. I'm a little bit of a coffee snob myself. I prefer brewed coffee any day over the Keurig, but definitely.
You want to watch me French braid Andy's hair?
Ah, wow.
That would go very badly quick. Let me just say. Yeah.
Beverly, you still have a tremendous sense of humor for sure. So we're actually trying to think to what are some things that are practical. So if you have ideas, like I said, we really want to hear your ideas for what to do with digital content. But
Sure.
If you have any ideas for us, put it in the comments. But I'm trying to think of something that's practical. How are you guys doing with getting supplies right now? Has anybody else had any challenges with getting grocery supplies? Because we're getting a little creative at the Ultimus house. We're so grateful. We have everything we need for sure, but we're getting a little bit, creative. And I'm really grateful that we have time to make homemade stuff because we can't always buy the same products that we used to buy. So I was thinking about maybe helping you guys out with some fun recipes and stuff you can do at home that might be helpful during this time when you're a little bit crunched for supplies. So that's something we're talking about doing maybe next week. So
Yeah. So anyways, your suggestions for content would be awesome. Well, one of the disappointments, I hear some of you just talking about your coffee at home. One of the disappointments for us is we're used to drinking the really good coffee that we make here. And we actually mostly ran out of the Rwandan coffee, which was our light roast that we sell here. And that's my favorite. So we had to go to Dunkin' Donut bag coffee. And so that was a little disappointing for me. But I really enjoyed the Rwandan. But glad some of you are doing the coffee with us this morning. So... pantry meal recipes, yes.
Awesome. That's a good idea. Excellent. All right, we'll take that into consideration. We're really brainstorming what we can do that would be fun but also helpful. So we want it to be helpful and enjoyable for everybody.
Yeah. So some of you have been asking too about like how Angie's doing. If you had not heard, Angie had a cardiac incident several weeks ago, so I'll let her tell you about. That.
Angie had a cardiac incident. Yes, Angie did have a cardiac incident. So the update on me for all of you is, first of all, thank you for praying for me because I feel like I am starting to become myself again, which is a very good feeling. For those of you who are not familiar, we actually did close a couple days ahead of the COVID-19 issues that we're currently facing, simply because I was unable to work. So March 2nd, I went to York Hospital with some chest pain, and I had wonderful care. I'm really grateful for the care I received there, and they were quick to find a blockage in my heart that they were able to fix, but it was a very serious blockage. So it was a very humbling experience for me. I do not have the traditional risk factors, I guess you would say, for heart disease, and managed to have a pretty bad blockage. So really grateful that was found and corrected. I'm adjusting to some new normals right now. The hardest part of recovery was just getting used to medications for me for a while. I've never taken any medicine at all, and now I'm taking a lot. And while some of those are temporary, some of them will be lifelong. So just adjusting to some new normals, and really grateful for all of you who are praying. I've gotten so many cards, so many people that have just reached out to me on Facebook and told me that they're praying for me, and I appreciate all of you so much. And I'm happy to tell you that your prayers are heard. I am getting back on my feet and starting to feel much better. So thank you so much to everybody who's been patient with Third Space and the closure. And we really miss you guys and look forward to being back.
Yeah. So just a couple of things I'm seeing from you all. Van says add cinnamon to coffee. So if you have coffee that you're percolating or you're getting at home that you're not 100% thrilled with, try some cinnamon in it. I've not done that, so I might have to try that. Ken reminded me that you can order the coffee that we sell here. You can order that online at onevillage.com, I guess it would be, onevillagecoffee.com. So they would sell the full arrays of coffee that we had here. And just as a reminder, the Rwandan coffee was our light roast, and we always had Rwandan and Legend. Legend's our dark roast. We always brewed those in the morning. So if you came in the morning, those were one of the two coffees you would have had. During the afternoon, we generally sold our Villager, which is the house blend, and that's like a medium roast. So those were the main three kinds of coffee.
And I can also, if I can interject, recommend, if you are a decaf person, like myself now, if you're on a decaf coffee drink, I highly recommend their Nightingale blend. Their decaf is delicious, so I highly recommend it if you are somebody who needs to drink decaf.
And Stephanie, I think Andy's looking good too.
Thank you. I appreciate
Absolutely. That. Absolutely. All right. Well, I don't want to drone on and bore everyone, but if there are ways that we can be praying for you, my wife and I personally, but our whole team, our whole church, Common Ground, we pray much for this community, for our friends, and we'd be happy to pray with you if you have needs. Also, if you are having trouble getting supplies, let us know. We try to share as a team when each other needs things, and we're happy to share with you as well. Although Beverly out in Arizona, I'm not sure how easy it'll be able to. We could share stuff in Arizona, but we could ship you something, I suppose. Absolutely. Yeah, it is great to see and hear from a lot of you as well. So thanks for hopping on. I'm gonna close us with a prayer and just ask God's blessing on you during this time. So, Father, I just want to say thank you for our friends and for our not just customers, but friends and community members that are just a part of our lives through the coffee house here. And I just pray your blessing upon them, that during this time there would be no fear, there would be no anxiety in their lives, but that they would have a great hope, a foundation that cannot be shaken, that does not tremble. Father, you have said that when we trust in you, you can be that foundation for us. And so may you be that for so many. Lord, we don't know what the future is going to bring, so there's a lot of uncertainty yet for us. Not just for businesses, but for individuals. So we just we take that uncertainty, which can really feel kind of trepidatious, I think, for many of us. But may it not. May we just look to you, knowing that you're in control. You actually know the future. You know everything that's going on. So we place it in your hands. But again, thank you for our community, and may they feel your blessing, your peace, and your joy during these days. Amen. Amen. All right. Well, we'll sign off with this. Blessings and peace.
Blessings and peace to you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you soon.
See ya.